Welcome to the QB Chronicles, an SMU football podcast with Garrett, Gilbert, and Kyle Padron. Join former SMU quarterbacks Garrett and Kyle as they break down each week's game, offering insights from their own experiences on the field. In addition to game analysis, we'll also bring you special episodes featuring interviews with past and present SMU players, sharing their stories and perspectives. Whether you're a diehard Mustang fan or just love football, this podcast is your go-to source for all things SMU football. Pony up!
Welcome back to the QB Chronicles. I'm Kyle Padron, joined as always by Garrett Gilbert. We're here with our Pat and Go preview for SMU Miami this weekend on Saturday at Ford Stadium at 11 a.m. GG, what's
Homecoming.
Going on? Homecoming.
Yeah. Well, early morning homecoming kickoff. So get out to the
boulevard
home early and start celebrating. I'm going to try. Yes, I was hoping it would be a night game, but I'm going to try and make it to my first game of the year as a bad fan.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, what's happening? Talk to us about the Canes.
Man, we've got a big test. Hopefully a game where SMU will respond well, coming off of a loss to Wake Forest in tough fashion. Offense needs to get back on track quickly. Hopefully reestablish the run game is going to be one of my keys to this game. Miami is a good defense. They're number 11 in the country in yards per game, giving up just 270 yards per game. But against the run, they are number 9 in the country, only giving up 2.87 yards per carry. So it'll be a tough test for us. Hopefully the offensive line, as we talked about last week, has looked themselves in the mirror and has a big test. I hope they recognize that, but I hope they're ready. Say hello to my lovely wife that just walked by. Caroline's prediction is the Ponies by 3. She encourages you all to take the money line. But yeah, we've got a good Miami football team. That's, defensively, they are a good football team. But where I think they are gettable, everybody knows the name Carson Beck, the Georgia transfer. He's having a pretty good year, with the exception to the one loss against Louisville. He had a tough game, 4 interceptions. But overall, he's, completing 73% of his passes. He's thrown for a little over 1,600 yards this year through 7 games, 12 TDs, but those 7 interceptions, with our ability to take the football away, I think that's going to be crucial for us to do that and continue to do so. We were, +2, forced 5 turnovers last week. I think we're going to need, at least maybe 2 or 3 this week to keep this a good game and hopefully what will likely turn into a track meet if the Ponies can win. I don't see this being a game that they win if it's 13-12. I just don't. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and hopefully our offense gets back on track.
Yeah, agree with everything you said. Obviously, Miami has been, ranked as high as number 2 in the nation this year after a very strong start to the season where they beat Notre Dame and then had a good win against Florida. They obviously since dropped one against Louisville. Like you said, Carson Beck struggled and turned the ball over in that game. I watched them play against Stanford the other night, and frankly, they were solid on defense. They did a really good job on defense, actually, of not letting Stanford essentially get a first down the whole time I had the game on in the second half, and forcing some turnovers. So I think these are 2 teams that do a really good job turning the ball over and mostly not turning it over. Miami is +5 turnover margin on the year, and SMU is +7. So those are both top 25 in the country. As you mentioned, this is a good defense statistically, especially against the run. So we're going to have our hands full. They have a little freshman receiver by the name of Malachi Toney, who has been outstanding. I think he just turned 18, maybe a couple weeks ago. And he has been he's been very good. They find different ways to get him the ball kind of all over the place. He seems to have a knack for finding holes in zones, and then once he catches the ball, watch out. So he'll be a challenge for our defense. I think all eyes need to be on him. And again, obviously Carson Beck's had a lot of success playing college football over a long career. And so we're going to have to do a good job on defense, throwing some things at him that I'm sure he's seen it all, but trying to keep him guessing. and hopefully let our defensive line continue to play better and better as they have. I thought last week, again, they played well against Wake, and they have seemingly gotten better each week. So continue to let them, rush the passer.
Yeah. Got to put pressure on Beck. Another key for my, in the game for me is, pressure Beck and then create turnovers. Touched on those two. Mark Fletcher, their running back, he seems to be their, highlight reel running back. He's got 552 yards through 7 games, 9 touchdowns this season. It's been paid at least once per game. It looks like he's been over 100 yards in 3 of the 7 games they've played. And the big stat is he's averaging 5.1 yards per carry. So you got to be, again, gap sound. I know we say this every week, but it's critical to be gap sound against these types of players. And then again, put pressure on Beck. Let's get them into 3rd and long situations, make him throw the ball, and then let's put some pressure on him, see if he'll throw it up, and let our guys in the secondary do what they do. You hit on Tony. Offensively, just numbers and kind of stats where they rank in the country. They're averaging 34 points per game, 411 yards per game. They are 47% on 3rd down, so that's got to be a focus for us. Let's not give them those 3rd and short. Everything we talk about on offense to make us successful, getting staying on schedule and getting into 3rd and short and medium. Let's not do that on the defensive side of the ball. Let's put them in those longer down situations, put them in passing only situations, and let's make Carson Beck beat us. Nothing over the top, keep it in front. Let's keep Malachi hopefully in check, but we got to keep these guys in front of us and keep them in 3rd and long situations most of the day.
Yeah, agree with all the above, and I'm always going to start with the lines. I think that's going to be the key. We talked about how good they are against the run. We've got to run the ball. It's like the Clemson game. It's not going to be 5-6 yard gashes every time, but you got to stay committed to running the ball and don't let them, pin their ears back and rush the passer, just knowing that we're going to be one-dimensional. And then on the defensive side of the ball, have to be stout in the line of scrimmage and not let them move us back. So those are going to be my 2 keys. It's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm excited about it. Obviously, you don't get a ton of games like this, getting to host a top 10 team in Dallas. So need our fans to show up. The game opened as Miami, a 10.5 point favorite that has moved to 12.5. So just a couple points in their direction. But SMU can win this football game, and obviously it's going to take, a team effort, all 3 phases, much better than we put out on the field last year, but back at home. And it's going to take, the crowd helping us out and, help keeping them from communicating. So exciting one to be ready for on Saturday. You got anything else before we make predictions?
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would add is just another key, and I know we've talked about this with Baylor and TCU, especially kind of knowing those games would be shootouts, is we've got to score touchdowns in the red zone, not settle for field goals. I think we settled last week for a couple field goal attempts, made one, missed one, but we've got to put the ball in the end zone. Can't settle for 3 consistently. Take the points where it makes sense, but we've got to put the ball in the end zone. And with that, I think we'll jump to predictions. I'll let you go first. Take it away.
I like Caroline's prediction. SMU by 3. I think we're gonna upset them. I think it's gonna be high scoring, like you said. So I'm gonna go 31-28 Ponies.
I like it. I will stick with the trend of following my wife's advice. Take the Ponies money line. Ponies win by 3. I'm gonna take it in overtime though. We're gonna get 6. We'll go 36-33. I think we're going to get 6. They get 3. We get 6 in the game.
Okay. You heard it here first.
We'll see if that comes true.
Be there on Saturday. Pony up.
Look forward to it. Pony up.